82-year-old David Jenkins may have cheated on the World Conquer Championship after being found to have a metal replica in his pocket. He has been competing since 1977, and it was his first victory. I only understood the importance of the fact after noticing that it was reported in both BBC and Sky News Morning Report. I have to confess that I had to search about the whole subject. As many of you already know, I come from a tropical country, and we don't have enough cold weather to have conkers. If you ask me what I miss most of my country, you will all guess the weather? It's not. It's the fruits that are only possible because of the weather and specifically because of the seasons. In Brazil, rain begins in October and go until April, when winter approaches and dry seasons begin. We don't really have marked seasons as we have here, seasons that I've grown to love. The gray, cold winter weather, rainy too, all the different flowers that bloom gradually during the spring, and people know their names. The 5 days of summer, and then the colorful leaves that paint the autumn. Here, I learned to understand Ecclesiastes, known in Hebrew as Kohenet. Lechol zman ve'et, lechol chefetz tachat hashamayim. Everything has a season and a time for every matter under the heavens. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to uproot what was planted. In the UK, I learned that autumn brings the conkers and the rain. But in fact, October is the month where there is rain all over the globe, as we can follow in the same news where I learned about the stolen championship. There are scary hurricanes and tornadoes in the US. My home city had such a heavy rain that some houses and business still don't have power since Yom Kippur. The wind destroyed some of the already built Sukkot last Sunday in South Africa. Maybe the wind and the rain are the reasons why Sukkot is exactly during this time, so that we can really feel nature and relate to it. In a general sense, the big existential questions that Sukkot brings with it can also be found in Kohelet, the Megillah that is read during Sukkot. Although it may seem hopeless and despairing, it talks about the fragility of life and how material things can be unimportant. Belongings and buildings are pointless, as it says, "What gain is there for man in all his toil that he toils under the sun? I have seen all the deeds that are done under the sun, and look, hakol hevel ureut ruach. All is mere breath and herding the wind." This is exactly the feeling that dwelling in a sukkah should bring. Yom Kippur already hammered home our temporality. You could die this year, and God is deciding in real time. Sukkot keeps up the pressure. Your home and your belongings are fragile too, not just you. If modern urban life sometimes takes from us the sense of how nature is stronger than us, this time of the year, when storms and hurricanes destroy properties and lives around the world, we are reminded of our fragility. We are reminded of how badly we have taken care of creation. However, no matter how much wind, rain, and destruction we may be facing, Sukkot is time to stop mourning, to stop rehearsing death, and connect ourselves to the living world, to plant our feet back on the floor, and to celebrate together. This is Sukkot's call. We have connected to our souls. Now it is time to land and to leave. It is Zman Simchateinu, the time of our happiness, as Rabbi Igor said in the beginning of our service, and as it is commanded in Deuteronomy, Usmachten bechagecha, you shall rejoice in your festival, with your son, your daughter, your male and female slave, the Levite, the stranger, the orphan, the widow in your communities, everybody. Being happy with all peoples can be tough sometimes, especially during difficult times as this one that we are living through. However, it is an important exercise, an exercise only possible with the help of the Sukkah, this fragile structure made of 3 walls and a natural cover called schach, made from something that grew from the earth, like bamboo or palm trees, an earth connection that provides more shade than the sun because it is a shelter, which doesn't block out the stars, connecting us with the sky, with the universe, with the weather, and detached from its source of growth because it is temporary. The Sukkah calls us to open ourselves to the dangers and beauty of the world, and when surrounded by sadness, to find happiness, perhaps inspired by the song of Israeli singer David Braza. Yesh lanu zman mitachat hashamayim. We have time under the sky. In the meantime, we are still here. You and me, despite the gap, despite the pain, despite the regret. Ani ohev ve'ohev ve'ohev. I love and love and love. Maybe love is the answer. We have time under the sky to build a place where we can be with others, love and live good times, despite the storms. And we have to remember to keep building and living and loving, hoping and waiting for good rain in the right time. We are here today, commanded to build a feeble place where we understand the fragility of what we have and to be happy while living there. In fact, although seasons can be organized, the chaotic Brazilian weather is more compatible with the seasons of our life. As described by Israeli poet Yehuda Mihai when he defies the sacred text of Kohelet, saying, "A man doesn't have time to have time for everything. He doesn't have seasons enough to have a season for every purpose." Ecclesiastes was wrong about that. Under the schach of the Sukkah, we finally understand that this is the time to breathe deeply and decide to be happy, no matter if there is a beautiful, clear sky or wind and rain. There is no safe time. All is mere breath and herding the wind. Let's plant our feet to the ground, rejoice, love, and hope for better seasons. Now. Chag Sameach.